I did not have sexual relations with that woman. These allegations are false.
Everyone knows that Bill Clinton was impeached for lying about his affair with Monica Lewinsky. But why did U.S. politicians and the U.S. population choose to take the moral high ground now? U.S. presidents have a long history of cheating on their wives, starting with Jefferson, then Harding, then FDR, Eisenhower, JFK, and even Lyndon B. Johnson. Why did the politicians decide to care about someone's personal life now? The Republicans moved to impeach Bill Clinton in the 90s in a political strategy that demonstrates the continued rise of partisanship in U.S. politics. Partisanship was already on the rise in the 70s and 80s. New Deal Democrats were struck by a wave of conservatism. As the New York Times reported in 1972, Americans like Dewey Burton, who was a blue-collar middle-class worker that chronicled his shift to the right with the New York Times, were feeling left out in politics. The corruption of Nixon and the infeasibility of some Democratic policies, such as busing, led to shifting political parties. When Bill Clinton came into power, he was a staunch Democrat, with the support of the democratically controlled Congress. Republicans didn't like him much, but Clinton did try to reach across the aisle in certain instances. However, Clinton's attempted healthcare reform push, led by Hillary Clinton, his wife, alienated the GOP and other conservative Americans. They felt that Hillary shouldn't have been allowed to lead the program, as that wasn't something that the First Lady should be allowed to do. This alienation of the public allowed Newt Gingrich, the Republican majority leader at the time, to galvanize the conservative opposition to Democrats with the Electoral Contract with America, resulting in a Republican Congress after elections in 1994. This Republican Congress eventually moved to impeach Clinton. Though Clinton did try to work across the aisle, the continued rise of partisanship meant that any scandal would decimate his political capital. The biggest scandal before the Monica Lewinsky situation during Clinton's time was the Whitewater investigation. To us today, this wouldn't seem like such a big deal. Basically, the Republicans were trying to find some wrongdoing in Clinton's business dealings, specifically in real estate, and had appointed a special counsel. The Whitewater investigation contributed to the alienation of the public, as they felt that his alleged real estate fraud wasn't anything like what they stood for. All of this tension created a polarized political climate with members of the public on opposite sides of the spectrum, heightening partisan sentiments. The result? A protracted political fight over Clinton's personal life. Even though the Whitewater investigation didn't lead to impeachment, it played a key role in Clinton's perjury. As a part of the Whitewater investigation, the independent counsel was tipped off about a relationship between Monica Lewinsky, a 21-year-old White House intern, and the president. The Lewinsky scandal became the real focus, though it was originally part of the Whitewater investigation. This is because Clinton denied the affair and became the first sitting U.S. president to testify in a case where he was the defendant. As more allegations of sexual assault and inappropriate conduct in the Oval Office emerged, Hillary Clinton dismissed the allegations as a vast right-wing conspiracy that had been conspiring against her husband since the day he announced his run for president. Clinton grew more and more embroiled in the Lewinsky-Clinton scandal as the public pressed for answers. The Republicans impeached Clinton for perjury and obstruction of justice. Though Clinton's crime wasn't political, he had lied to a federal official about what had happened. However, everyone knew that Clinton would not be found guilty. Clinton had great lawyers and lots of money and really knew how to work the law. The fact that the GOP was willing to impeach was a political move. None of them expected Clinton to actually be charged. In his case, Clinton made the distinction between sexual relations and receiving sexual relations to end up winning the case. However, the scandal did leave a permanent stain not only on his political career, but also on the Democratic Party as a whole. This was the real reason why Republicans had moved to impeach. Though they knew that there was no chance that Clinton would be ousted from office, it did give the Republicans a better chance at the election in the next cycle, and it sapped any political credibility that Clinton or the Democratic Party could have. This shows the divide that partisanship had created. People had to decide the members of the general public had to decide which side of the issue they were on, and both parties cared so much about their polar opposite views that they were willing to go to such lengths to sap any political capital from the Democrats. This trend of partisanship would only continue to grow in the decades that followed. but you can see very clearly in the Clinton-Lewinsky scandal the stain that partisanship has caused.